Hello, welcome to 123 Collections YouTube channel. My name's James, I'm the director of 123 Collections Limited. This is another video in a series of short videos regarding good credit control techniques and some information regarding debt collection. Today, just a short video regarding what you need to, to have done before you escalate a debt to potentially a debt collection agency or consider registering a claim maybe. Um, so rather than when, because obviously it's up to you when you want to escalate a debt. It's depending on your business, I suppose, your relationship with that client, lots of different things. But there are a few things you need before you can register. Escalate a debt, for example, to my company, debt collection agency, or before you can file a claim. So the first thing, most important thing, um, your client needs to have not paid an invoice and it needs to be overdue. So, say you got an invoice 14 days and they haven't paid after 20, um, the invoice is overdue at that point. I would recommend trying every means of contact available before escalating a debt to anyone else. Try and call, email, um, do that several times. Not every customer checks their email regularly enough, and sometimes getting them on the phone is the best way. The other issue, or the other potential issue, is before you escalate a debt, you need to make sure any queries that or disputes that the customer has raised you have dealt with. So if they've disputed the debt, said it's not owed for some reason, you have to have gone back to them and advised why they're incorrect and why the debt is due. You can't just ignore that. You do need to address it. You don't need to keep addressing it if they keep making the same points. If you've offered the answer once and they are stubborn and refuse to believe it, that's a different matter. But you do need to have provided answers to queries and disputes. Another thing to look out for, sometimes a customer might not dispute, but say, yeah, I'll pay you next week. Next week rolls around, you ring them up the following week. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'll pay you next week. Blah, blah, blah. And that can just keep happening and going on and going on. If it gets into that sort of cycle, where promises of payment aren't being met, I would potentially consider, um, you know, escalating the matter. Before you send a debt, I always recommend as well sending a final demand. A final demand, I will do another video going into detail about what should be in it and how it should be written. But a final demand letter essentially highlighting they've got 7 days to pay, for example. You can set the time limit, 7 days, 2 weeks, a month, whatever you think's best. I'd recommend 7 days if you're sending a final demand. And just state if payment's not received within 7 days, this debt will be passed on to a debt collection agency, or I'll just look into escalating the matter further. And at that point, potentially, the debt will increase with statutory late fees and interest. Hoping to avoid that, please make payment to the details below. You should do that before you send it on, escalate the matter, before you add any interest or late fees to the debt yourself. If it's not in your contract, or if it's not in your terms stating, we will add fees and interest to the invoice balance. I would recommend sending a letter and making that clear if you haven't done that already. So yeah, there's a few things to consider before sending a debt to someone like me to pursue. So obviously overdue invoices, you've tried numerous times to get payment via email and phone. All queries and disputes have been answered. If the client is continuing to promise to pay and not making payment, sometimes it's best to pass it on to someone like me, and I can spend my time, you know, pursuing payment, because that's essentially my job. And then finally, make sure the fact that the debt may be passed on to the debt collection agency and the balance may increase is made clear to the client if it's not already done so in your terms. Good way to do that is with a final demand letter, which I would recommend sending through the post to the debtor's registered address if it's a company. So yeah, they're the 5 things I would make sure you've done. My name's James, like I say, director of 123 Collections Limited. If you want to get in touch, there is a link below this video. You can click that and it'll have my phone number on it. You can always email me at info@123collections.co.uk. Happy to take on any clients for business to business debts, as long as those clients are UK based. Or my clients are UK based, your clients can be foreign, of course, based abroad. So, yeah, get in touch and happy collecting. And remember, everyone should be paid for their work. Thanks very much.